Hello everybody, Tim here again. I don't know if I have to yell over the extremely noisy power supply. It feels like I do. But anyhow, so what I got here was just got a Uniden 505XL. It's one of those deals where I got it on Amazon because someone had returned it and it said there was a small mark in the front. I don't see the small mark yet, but it was about $24. So I needed kind of a little mobile CB, and I liked the fact that it was nice and small. Didn't want a lot of bells or whistles. Just so that if I use it out in a car or truck, it's easy to put somewhere. You know, the CBs that I have from yesteryear are so big, or any of those big things. So this is kind of small. You can see there's my hand. Came in a nice box. Microphone definitely looks nice. I mean, this doesn't feel like a junky mic. But anyhow, I just have some voltage going to it, and let's see what we got there. I'm going to have to turn up the voltage. I have 8.94 volts going to it. I guess I need to give it more. Just take a look at something once. Yeah, let me turn that up a little bit to about 13.5. Oh, there's 13.46. That's close enough. I haven't fired it up yet to see if it works, but what I want to do is just see what the output's going to be. I'm not going to tweak anything or do anything. Maybe we'll take a look at the signal, and I will see what the output is. I'm using two different meters because I don't have the smallest element I have for the bird is a 50. So these things only put out 4 watts, so let's see, 54, it's going to be way down here. So I also have this I got a long time ago, a couple years ago, and it was one of those just kind of cleaned it all up, and somebody had spilled coffee all over it and everything. Yeah, we'll give that a shot and see how that works too. There's nothing on there that tells you anything about that, but I know that that's for CB band. And then I also have another meter I want to use, but anyhow, let's see how it works firing it up, if it even turns on. Alright. So, the typical problem with this is the speakers on the bottom. Now it's into a dummy load, so you're not really going to hear much noise anyhow. So I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to move the meter up a little bit more so we're looking at the bird. We're on channel 19. There's no up or down control on this mic. You have to do everything from here. So we'll go right to the middle of the band on 20. I don't need to hear anything because there's nothing to hear. So let's see, there's the bird. I'll move this back a little bit. Get the bird into view. So the dead key on it should be probably just, there's the line, if that's the 50 scale, that line right there would be 5. So it should be just a little bit before that. See what we get. Actually, that's pretty darn close. I don't know if you can see it. That goes just right up to exactly 4. So let's see if we can get a needle swing on it. Hello, 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 hello. So I don't know, we're getting pretty good needle swing out of that as well too. That would be up on the, probably about a little bit better than 15 on AM. Hello. Yeah, so that's about 15 if I talk normal. Hello. If I talk normal, I get about the same thing. My mouth's probably only about 3 or 4 inches away from the mic. Okay, so that's what we're showing with that. We're going to try with this meter real quick. Let me switch that over. We'll put that one in. And basically it's just a test. I don't really get many things with CB done here, so this is kind of an interesting test for me to do. So let me get that switched over and we'll try that again. Okay, now to try the kicker. So just key it up and see what happens on forward. It matters either way. So on the 10-watt scale, let's see. That would be 10 forward, RF level low high. Not sure what that's all about. Let's see. We'll try it. Okay, so there's the 10-watt scale. Can make sure you can see it. I guess the switch must have been a little bit dirty. I went down and back up. So there's the 10-watt scale right there. There's 4 right here. Huh. Maybe the switch needs cleaned because so now it works. Okay. This is showing about 4.5 watts on the dead key. And let's see if I go to, that's 10 to 100. It's showing close to 10 watts here, because that would, well, there'd be the 100 right there, that'd be 10. Turn it on. Hello. So this is saying around 10 watts. A little bit less. But this one I know hasn't had any calibration done to it whatsoever. So we'll see if. So we're getting there. Hello. Hello. I don't know. Yeah, so this one's saying the swing, but this doesn't have true peak reading. So the swing here is going around a little bit less than 10. You can see it's come up here 7/8 somewhere, but it wasn't true peak reading. So again, we have to revert back to the bird for the real peak reading because it has the peak kit on it. Okay, enough said. Let's try the last meter. All right, so the last guy we'll try will be this Micron old Radio Shack. I've had it. You can see it's in really nice shape still. I've had it for years. And I find it to be pretty accurate. But we'll see now that we've actually compared it. Again, this is going to be right in the CB range. I don't know how far up into UHF it goes before it becomes, or I mean the HF it goes before it becomes not as dependable. But let's give it a shot and see what we get. All hooked up. We're on the 20-watt scale, so yeah, get your glasses out for this one because that says 2,000 watts, that wee little tiny writing right there. In fact, I'll zoom into it. Yeah. Okay, maybe now you can see that says 2,000. So in order to make that 200, you drop 2 zeros off. So 4 watts is going to be right. Well, that would be, there's 5. You can see the 500. That's going to be that's going to be 5 watts. So let's see what we get. I should look at it in the meter because I can see it in the camera. I can see it better in the camera. Let's see, where is it? Anyhow, wait for it to go right to about the 5. So this is saying just a tad shy of 5. So it's actually looks to be like it's about 3.5 watts. That's on this meter. And again, even though this says peak, it can't do peak. It doesn't have any active components to allow that to happen. But we'll see what happens when I. Hello. Right on that. Yeah. And again with the 20-watt scale, so this is showing like it's peaking at somewhere around 5. But again, I just go by this with the standard dead key, and if I want to know what the peak is, then I use the bird behind it. But let's see what it looks like there. Hello. The funny thing is how long it takes it to react when I'm watching it in the camera. That's why I sound like I'm lost here. Alright, so all in all, I think we can say it's somewhere between 4.5 and 4.5 and 3.5, so dead key's probably about close to 4 where it should be. I'm thinking the bird's probably the most accurate, but again, that's a 50-watt slug, so alright. So let's see, maybe I can get this on the scope and we can actually see what the modulation looks like. Okay, let me see, let me turn some of this noise off. So what I'm going to do here is basically you can see what I got here. I guess you can. So this is just a little meter I use to help me with alignments and stuff, and basically I'm just using it for the speaker part of it. Right here I have the set of test leads, and they go to the signal generator, and I'm going to put 1000 hertz tone right out of the speaker, and I'm just going to key the mic and put it on there. No, I'm not going to wire it all in because this isn't real alignment or anything. Then I'm going to watch it on the scope and see what we get. So you'll hear it. I don't know if you can hear that over the noise of the of course if I take it off you probably can. Doesn't matter really, it's using 4 volts, that's just the default, but it's not hooked to anything, so I could turn it up or turn it on. So now we're going to take a look up at, it's actually attached to the scope up there, and we'll get a look at what it looks like. I might have to freeze the trigger because, see if I can zoom in a little bit to the scope. Now let's see. Okay, there it goes. I'll zoom into the scope so you can see what we're looking at here. Let me see if I can. Okay. No, I don't have to keep it keyed. So, oh no, that signal looks pretty darn good. What you're looking for is, well, I think they say like fish kissing or something. But here, where's my antenna? Because Chris yells at me for using my big fat fingers. Generally, just think of it as a sine wave, and it looks nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. It's the top part and the bottom part. Looks nice and smooth. These could probably get a little bit tighter in here, but then again, I could probably turn it up a little bit and change that. Let me see if I can. Like I said, remember I'm just holding a microphone up to it. So let me put another trigger again. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit harder to see now because I can't get the trigger on that. I mean, I could change it, but I don't want to move my hand over there. As I pull it away and the signal gets quieter, it becomes less. But if I talk into it, you can see the waves change. So this just gives me a point of reference. So yeah, I guess I probably could. That's probably like 85 or 90% modulation. I could make it so that it's a little bit tighter. The kiss part closes down a little bit more. But the thing that's interesting, if you look when I first key it, it goes actually to kind of over modulation, and then it limits itself. But I'm also told, and I haven't looked it up yet, but I don't think these radios have any adjustment for the limiter, and even the power adjustment is very minimal, which you can do with the final. So much for all that. But like I said, I just wanted to see how this radio performed. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put a signal and get an S9 signal and do it, minus 73 dB M, and let's see. We'll go see what that looks like, and then connect it up to an antenna. All right. Well, there's an S9 signal, and it's giving me 3 bars. Not sure what that means. Looks like in the diagram it goes up to 4 bars. I don't know what's what. But let's see. Let's try a regular antenna and see what we get. Now I'm going to have like 8 billion feet of antenna because I have to go up to the Radio Shack and back on. So we'll get that hooked up and see how that goes. Okay, I had to stand it up on end so you can hear the radio. When I turn it up loud, you'll hear it, but I turned the squelch on so I could talk. We'll see, this is channel 19 on an antenna. And I don't know if you can see the bird in the background. I had it, let's see, on reflected power. It's showing a good match, so that's a good thing. I have an Antro 99 out there that I use for 10 meters and CB playing around or anything. So, and I also have the TS 940 hooked up the monitor as well, so you might hear the talk back through that. Break 19. Does have CB and PA. Let's see. Actually, it seems to be a good amount of skip coming in. Well, it seems to listen pretty well. Break 19. Well, nobody seems to hear me. What did you expect for CB though? It's unless you're talking skip, there's not too many local users nowadays. But every now and then you run into a gem. So I can hear the talkback come through the 940 and it sounds okay, but that's about it. That's the review of this. Like I said, the cheap price looks pretty durable. Of course, it's hard to tell. Looks pretty durable, and we'll see what happens with it. Go out and shove it in. It's lightweight, but it feels like it's made pretty nice. I think the microphone weighs more than the radio, though. Actually, that's definitely a interesting feel. I mean, I'm going to say it's a good feel to a microphone. I don't know whether they did that to make it, you know, if there's weights in there or something to make it feel more rugged. But all in all, I guess the power output's about where it should be. I'm not going to take it apart at this point yet to do anything with it because, like I said, I didn't really do much research, but the little bit I did look on it, there's really not a lot you can do to these, and there's no sense taking it apart for a half of a watt or whatever. And I don't want to be splashing all over the bands. I just want a utility radio. So, hey, thanks for watching.